Hello everybody and welcome to Game 5 of the first series in the Grand Championship Series semi-finals today. We have an unexpected Game 5 on our hands. Graciously, DevM has allowed Von one more opportunity to try and take his place in the finals. The map is going to be Feymanville Approach, and DevM are playing on the north side as the USF.
That's right, DevM is north side, Von Ivan is south side, OKW. DevM was given both map and faction selection here because, quite frankly, he had Game 4 in the bag and then his PC broke. Or CO2 bug splatted, whichever, or the software or the hardware. I think according to DevM, it's just purely the software. His computer froze and CO2 bug splatted. And quite frankly, based on the rules, he had the opportunity to say, yeah, well, I was clearly winning. And he was clearly winning. He had 4 tanks. Von Ivan had 1. He had no repairs, and his tank was pretty much dead. But DevM's done a very honourable thing here. He accepted an ad hoc solution to say, okay, we'll have a Game 5, but he's been given both selection of map and faction. He's gone his prized USF, his all-conquering USF, and the map is Feymanville Approach. So this game is literally do or die situation for both players. Whoever wins this is going to the final in Leicester.
That's right. You've got to think DevM's got to be feeling pretty confident after the way that he performed in the last game. He's confident enough to let his opponent have a crack at potentially being in the finals. And it's not like there's not a lot at stake here, because there is a lot to fight for. And I think he saw the fairness in that decision. But let's not get on any further with the casting of this Game 5, because this is going to be a very tense end to the first series of the semi-finals. Seeing a little bit of a repeat from Von here. He's gone the same direction on the map, but this time not capping the right-hand side. Is he going to go for that rushed battle grouper again, or is he going to play something a little more safe on the map?
Absolutely. DevM has a tactical advantage here. He's chosen pretty much the exact same situation as the previous game, of course, with OKW versus USF on the same map. But he knows Von Ivan went for that very aggressive battle grouper in the previous game, as Volley Fire was able to suppress the Folks Grenadiers. But here comes Captain Kubel to the rescue.
Captain Kubel not able to do too much there as DevM gets away with his Echelons and Riflemen. Doesn't leave much in the field for him to deal with, although he is utilising it well, decapping the strategic point that disconnects Von Ivan from his resources on the left-hand side. So it's good map aggression from DevM. He's going to be playing one hell of a game this time, just once again to showcase why he may just be one of the people that takes the finals.
Either of these two are gladiators and worthy contestants to stand on that stage at ESL Studio 1 in Leicester and hold the trophy aloft in front of the adulation of 3,000 Twitch viewers, 50 people watching live in attendance. DevM, though, is playing hyper-aggressive as usual with the Rifleman. He's retreating in time. That's the great thing about DevM. He retreats before he loses the manpower. He keeps on form, and he keeps going, quite frankly.
Does indeed, yeah. This is a fragile thing for DevM, though, because Von's Stern Pioneers are going to go and strategically decap him. DevM is spreading his infantry out across the map. He's got one Rifleman squad who Von could just kind of camp the retreat path here and take loads of models down, so this may not be the best idea to stay here, but he's trying to keep Von occupied whilst he keeps fielding. Lieutenants come on the field now. DevM not able to get the Stern Pioneers off the strategic decap, so whilst he's playing super aggressive, Von has good control over the early game.
It's a decent control. The OKW does afford you that, but the steamroller is DevM's USF. Will soon be getting into full swing as we've got the lieutenant on the field. The Sturmgewehr are coming into position. They're up against those M1 carbines. The M1s win out just about. One-man rifleman squad was able to thwart the Stern Pioneers just about in time as well, because the bars surely would have polished them off. And Dan, I don't like saying what I hear in private messages very often out loud in front of 1,400 people, but I think this is very situational. And DevM PM'd me something before this game started. Do you want it said, Dan?
Of course, yeah.
Swear to God, I'm going to destroy Von. So pissed. That is the DevM we have in this game. He's a pissed off DevM. He's accepted an honourable kind of gentleman's agreement to do a G5, but that doesn't mean he's going to behave like a gentleman. He's going to play like an animal, and he's playing so super aggressive at the moment. His preservation's on point, of course. He's not being wanton. He's not going stupid, but he's doing the DevM steamroller routine. He's going Lieutenant M20, and he's going to be looking to terminate Von Ivan.
Certainly is. He's doing a good job at the moment, capping with those rear echelons, trying to put as much pressure as he can on Von's fuel. He wants to do that before Von can unload that tier 4. And I think if he spots the battle grouper has gone down in that center position again, then he may realize what Von's plan is, and he may be able to counter it early on. That's going to be the big thing for him in this game. Now we're seeing almost a repeat situation with the M20 being chased down by the Volksgrenadiers through the center. Will he get the second Faust off? But there's nothing to back it up afterwards.
Fine this time, Dan. Unlike that game 4, where he lingered with the M20, and I made a big point of it. Here, this time he reversed immediately. He learned his lesson, and he's managed to keep the M20 alive. As a result, it takes 3 Fausts to kill an M20. 2 does not cut the mustard.
No, it does not. Von is softly retreating back to his battle grouper. It's a position where he's going to be able to hold good strength on the map. Funnily enough, in this game, you know, like VPs aren't going to be the height of the situation anymore because, you know, they're not fighting for any kind of faction selection. This time it is just all or nothing for the win. So whilst we might see a little bit less of a focus, Devon's going to maybe be trying to just decap to make sure he's got lots of time to play with. Von's going to be trying to get the cap on the VPs so that he restricts Devem from having that time to play with. So there's a different mechanic on the VPs this game, which I really like to see in a game 5. And let's be fair, we haven't been treated to it that often in this tournament, so this is a very interesting situation for the semi-finals.
Von's done the exact same strat again. He's got on the battle group headquarters south of the house there, almost a little bit of gentlemanly conduct from him, allowing Devem to, you know, possibly counter the exact same thing again, that big howitzer barrage.
He's going to need to focus on that because we haven't seen Devem pick it yet, which is good. At least he's keeping his options open, but we expect he's going to go for that again after knowing how efficient it was in the last game. Sorry, losing my voice a little bit there. Hopefully we see Von come in with something else, you know, other AT-wise, because we just didn't see that from him last time at all, and that really was the killing blow. Hopefully we see him prepare that kind of area a little bit more with the tier 4.
There you go, Rifleman in a difficult situation against the Volksgrenadiers. They are able to win out though overall. They've got more Riflemen pushing through the centre, pushing away these Volksgrenadiers. The Riflemen are getting super aggressive and they will be able to get a cut-off if they're able to do this, but we've got 3-man Stern Pioneer coming through the centre to thwart their advance. However, they do manage to neutralise the cut-off.
This is an important move for Devem as well because he wants to get in here and stop the Volksgrenadiers, one, from getting to the battle grouper where they can reinforce. He also wants to make sure he keeps that strategic decap so that there's no resources coming in for Von, where he can provide a decent counter to Devem's play at the moment. And he's done a very good job here, but he's not going to put so much pressure on that strategic decap. In fact, he's going to try and decap the resources whilst he's got this time on his hands, making very, very good use of the Lieutenant there, with only the one window firing Stern Pioneer in the building. It's looking good so far.
Keeping the Stern Pioneer in its hole. The M20 also comes up to help out. Gets Rakettenwerft, though, by the Shrek on wheels. Smoke popped, gets out of there. Is mitigated for the meantime.
One has to be very careful that he doesn't get too trapped up in this area because, you know, USF off-map, as we saw in the last game, is incredibly strong. And we also saw, you know, Devem, whether he did it intentionally or not, you know, Devem stacked up a lot of resources in the last game. You know, whether he was intending to just go straight in with that when he saw Battle Grouper, you know, he had about 350 munitions when he was calling that in. So, you know, he's going to identify this as the same strategy from Von. He'll be saving up for that again, you know, surely.
Devem's soaking up the map in blue at the moment. He has the north, he's contesting the south, he's battled for the centre. Von Ivan's in a much more difficult situation this time. However, there have been no killing blows as of yet. And the M20 comes in, it finds the Kubelvarg, and the Rakettenwerfer is suppressed. He's trying to get a shot off, but its aim fire's mitigated. The M20's trying to just launch itself in there, away from the arc of the Raketten. The Kubel's now a sitting duck, could get shot against by the M20. The utility cars on the rampage.
That's some really good play by Devem there, actually making sure that he reverses into that to get up close to the Kubel as quick as possible. Rewarded with a great kill there and pushes the Raketten off the field. That's going to allow him to go in and deal with the Stern Pioneers. This is looking like a very, very good push for Devem there. And now he's going to take the strategic point. Now he's got that decap. Von is not getting many resources in at all anymore. And do you know what? Like, Von built this green sandbag weirdly on the VP there. It's actually being utilized by USF at the moment to to actually work against Von. You've now got the MG in the building covering that strategic point, so it's going to be very difficult for Von Ivan to cap that back whilst that's there. Going to have to start looking at indirect fire. What a great return play.
You want to see what a pissed off DevM looks like, Dan?
I think we're
looks like this. Looks like this right now. Not only is he playing in the same razor shot where he's been playing this series, because Von Ivan's playing damn well as well, but he's now hit another gear. He's hit the DevM zone. He's hit the zone that's made him a household name. Battles with the Siberian Platoon, Aimstrong, Alyaz as late as 2011. Since then, he's played every single top-level player in Company of Heroes history, DevM, and most of the time, Dan, he's come out the winning player. And right now, he looks like he's in dominant form.
Yeah, he's really turned on a switch. I mean, this in the last game, you know, we did not see this response from him this time round. I mean, he's all over Von. He's all over that position. He's aggressive. He's brutal. There's been squad wipes so far. Look at the M20, Veteran C2 already. It's just bouncing around the potential positions of the Raketen. Von has not been able to get use out of that. Now we're going to see the Faust come in, but he's smoked. Will the Faust still hit? Yes, it will. And now he's going to try and get that M20 out of there. But look at the chaos.
Von Ivan's got, he's in a pickle at the moment. He's been hard blocked by the garrison usage of DevM. DevM was able to rescue control of that garrison, and now Von's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, he does. He has a lot of work to do here. Fortunately, though, with the battle group, he is able to effectively deal with these pushes because he can reinforce on the go. He just needs to make sure that he doesn't lose, you know, that Raketen. That was what we saw in the last game. That Raketen is going to be absolutely essential to this. Yeah, but he's wasting a lot of manpower on these reinforcing, constantly reinforcing these squads. DevM easily has the better rollover in terms of infantry on the field. Oh, that's a beautiful squad wipe there from the Panzer Fusilier grade. Well timed wipe. That's a very important wipe.
It really is. That wipe there has destroyed that rifleman. Very important squad.
May even get the second one if he focuses on the captain. He's not going to do that though. He's going to focus on clearing the left-hand side because he knows he's got to get those resources back. He's also got to focus on not being triple capped if he's going to have time to build up late-game Axis armor and deal with DevM's potential. Well, it's going to be the M10 spam this time with the bulldozer. He has locked in that commander already.
He's locked in that commander, but in the meantime, he's also got the M5A1 Stuart on the field making its first appearance. He's got the M20 keeping control of the south, and he's got the Stuart coming into the centre and causing all kinds of problems.
Hey, I've not seen such a frantic game with Company of Heroes. I can't keep track of anything on the camera here. There's engagements all over the place. Raketen opening up on the M20. Very nicely smoked out of there, but it opens up on the Stuart. Volksgrenadiers, they can't get the Faust off because they don't have the munitions. DevM is just trying to brutally push those resources all the time, keeping his advantage rolling. But wow, this is engagements all over, and Von's preservation has been on point this game.
It really has. Both players hit a next level. They realised after the drama of that game 4 in inverted commas, we've now got a situation that's becoming very dramatic indeed. DevM's hit a next gear, but Von Ivan's matching him so far. He's done very well against DevM's true final form. And although he does find himself with a lack of control, he's played damn well in this game, Dan.
Yeah, he has. He's also been wiping some units off of DevM, which means, you know, in terms of manpower, you could probably see DevM, you know, starting to get on the back foot as the OKW infantry get upgraded. Yeah, very, very interesting here. And where is the Raketen in all of this? He's still being harassed by the M20 on the left-hand side. Raketen is there to deal with it. Will he pop the Panzer Fusiliers out for the anti-tank grenade? He's got a really good opportunity to do it here right now. Raketen should get a first shot off, but I think actually the Panzer Fusiliers jumping in may have prevented that from happening. Meanwhile, we've got Captain trying to get the battle grouper down on the left-hand side with the bazookas. And just engagements all over the place as Von tries
It's so frenetic. It's so frantic. It's so all over the place, as Dan has quite rightly mentioned. But one thing is certain is that it's mostly DevM that's all over Von Ivan's face at the moment. Von Ivan is surviving. He's doing very well. He's not lost too much material. But DevM is a frantic beast at the moment. He's in his USF tournament winning mode where he just seems to hit that plane of existence where he starts to steamroll, gets each vehicle out of each respective tier and uses each one to great aggressive ability.
you just think about the micro that's going into these engagements right now. I mean, there's things back and forward, you know, reversing in and out of engagements, trying to create the flanks. Incendiaries going off in the buildings. You've got Faust going left, right, and center. They're both trying to burn each other's resources down to the ground, and it's just looking incredible at this point. But we really have to focus now because VPs just dropped to 300 for Von Ivan, and you know, that's a very good point for DevM to keep pushing those VPs because he does not want Axis to get into late game situation, and he can just continually harass this.
He can continually keep up the pressure. The only thing he's lacking is one of his 3 original riflemen, but he's now building up the armor cavalcade that'll just allow him to harass the map and maintain control at all times.
He's going to find it difficult to do. I think this one Raketten is maybe limiting him a little bit because it's the only AT he's got. He's up against 2 light vehicles. You know, the Raketten isn't mobile enough to kind of hit when the M20 goes left. Like, you know, there's always something else bouncing in. And it's a really difficult situation. He needs to maybe
Here comes the barrage down, the clickability. We've got that 240 millimeters of destruction hurtling from the sky at the moment. Where's it going to hit?
Fortunately, this time it does not wipe some of Von Ivan's squads. He has been spared this first round, but this means he cannot really stay around the battle group. It looks like he's going to anyway. Second shot dead on. Von's got to be thinking right now, where is this going to go? He's got his position up for tier 4 SWS on the field. He's not going to be able to drop it down whilst this ability is there. DevM is going to be able to clear that battle group easily.
Yes, he's also got the M1 AT gun. Also, just to double up on his efforts, opening up. There it goes, finished off for the dust and the debris flying into the air. DevM's gotten rid of Von Ivan's fortress in the centre.
Well, this could be a good opportunity for Von Ivan to just claim the right, because there's nothing on the right-hand side at the moment. That looks to be where Von Ivan is going right now. He has an opportunity to get some good defensives, because there's narrow lines on the right-hand side. You know, it's going to be difficult for DevM to push through there. The Raketten's also got a good opportunity. Maybe can even sit in one of the big buildings and just protect against what will potentially be the bulldozer soon. But we may see the captain go down here. Yes.
Oh, assassinated by the Panzer Fusiliers there on retreat. Very good work from Von Ivan to be in the right place at the right time to get the execution there.
Yeah, he's going to drop tier 4 down just outside of his base to protect that strategic decap. This looks to be the plan. This looks to be the plan for Von. If he's going to go to the right-hand side and try and hold it down. To DevM there chasing down the Panzer Fusiliers. Will he get the last shot off? Looks like Panzer Fusiliers just spared in that engagement.
The Stuart circumventing the Rakettenwerfer's positioning there to fire volleys of that fire into the building with the Panzer Fusiliers in a difficult situation. VPs are not Von Ivan's friend. He is going to the northeast to try and capture there, but here comes the howitzer Sherman.
It is, yeah, and Von very sensibly instantly goes for another one of the Rakettens. He's going to need both of those if he's going to push back into this, and it needs to come on the field very, very quickly in order for him to push that bulldozer off. There's a Vet 5 Volksgrenadier squad that I don't fancy the chances of if it allows the Stuart and the bulldozer Sherman to come in with this lieutenant. Looks like lieutenant may be camping the retreat path. You've got two riflemen here, and let's see how Von deals with this. It's an instant retreat.
Ooh, lucky, very lucky there. Another Rakettenwerfer on the field down, but he's up against an M20. That's veteran C3, a bulldozer Sherman, and a Stuart.
I think he can do it. I think he can at least push the Sherman off and allow him to go for the right-hand side. But he's got to act fast. He's got to act very, very fast with what he's got here. And there we go. This might be a little bit of a mistake there from DevM. He takes another shot. Last shot from the Raketten doesn't manage to get that final penetrating kill. It does do a lot of health damage. Going to keep it off the field for a while.
DevM quite lucky there to escape with the howitzer intact. He has done so though, and he's about to nail in a triple cap. The M20, by the way, with Veterancy 3 is at Vet 2 plus 20% speed, 20% rotation, 50% penetration, and better weapon range. So it's pretty much a beast. It literally copes with every engagement in a better way, the M20 now. It's a much different vehicle.
It is, yeah. It's a great unit to have on Veteran C3 in this stage of the game because the kind of harassment it's going to be able to do on those VPs is going to be very, very valuable to him. Raketin here gets caught in the fire of the MG arc from the USF. Opens up one shot. Will we see Panzer Fusiliers get an anti-tank grenade? We won't, as Von Ivan doesn't have the munitions for it. But one thing that does have munitions is DevM with his off-map barrage again. Will we get to see that outside the headquarters?
I think Von Ivan is possibly in a trap there. He could be getting that utilised against his base with one of these reconnaissance vehicles in the late game. We're going to have to watch out for that. Well, Von Ivan's a survivor, Dan. He's doing exactly what you would expect him to do at the moment. He's literally weathered the storm of the most powerful player playing on his most powerful faction in a pissed-off state, having to play a game in the rules he shouldn't have had to play. I know it was his bug splat, but he clearly won that game 4. So now we find ourselves in this situation. One of these two players going to the final. DevM is just so certain it's him. And he's playing with furious vengeance and fierce anger, to quote Pulp Fiction.
Let's have a look how this engagement goes, because the USF AT gun here, a little bit overextended, is going to get taken down by the Panzer Fusiliers. We've got the M10 on this side as well, but the 2 Raketins are there. Do they decide to open up on the Stuart? Second shot needs to go in now, and he might be able to finish it off with an anti-tank grenade if he gets lucky, but that doesn't open up on that last shot. Here we see from DevM now. Are we going to see the grenades going?
The M1 AT gun is there for the taking. He needs to stay in this engagement now. And here comes the Howitzer to save the day. He's got the Stuart waiting as well. The Raketenwerfer, one of them's retreated. It's now a Howitzer with the Stuart in the meantime waiting for this situation. This could be one of those moments that could. It's definitely the end of that Panzer Fusilier squad. But it could be the end of either player.
Wow, yeah, there's a grenade going in on that building there. Von Ivan is trying to clear it around the back of the Stern Pioneers. Now he takes the building for himself. Will he grab the USF AT gun? This would be an essential part, I would imagine, in trying to deal with USF tanks, although he can't reliably get it out of there. Not looking like an overly positive situation right now. He is going to recruit the Raketin, though, which I don't think stands much chance in the negative cover. It's not looking too great for Von. He just lost another squad on the retreat as well.
Oh, dear God. But I have to say, in this game, the DevM has just shown exactly what can happen if he agrees to an honourable gentleman's conduct replay. He doesn't behave like a gentleman as such. He kind of becomes like a cornered Wolverine, and you're a toddler that's stumbled across him. It doesn't go pretty well. But all credit to Von Ivan, in all honesty. He trained so hard for GCS. He was so focused for this tournament. And anything I can do to get him to the final in any form, in the GCS final, we'll go for it. But damn, there's a bigger picture right now.
Oh gosh, I think that sounds relatively close. No, that was behind. That's good.
It's a tree.
That's good, because we did not want it to land on top of that blob, which we all know is a likely possibility. It's still got a very, very wide area of fire, though, so he needs to be really, really careful that he doesn't get caught up in that.
He's clamping down now. He's a boa constrictor. Oh, with another wipe from the Howitzer.
Von isn't going to be able to handle this. It's definitely looking like DevM is going to be the first one of the finalists to go into the Grand Championship Series finals, and he's played very well. I think, like, you know, as you rightly say, when he has a reason to pull this out of the bag, there was no chance, you know what I mean? There was no chance he was going to miss out on being a finalist. The only thing that was going to stop him was another bug splat, and fortunately we haven't seen that happen yet.
To be honest, we definitely give it to him. We should have given it, by the rules, we should have given that game 4 to DevM. Even though he did kind of bug splat, he clearly won. But seriously, just both hats off to both players. Everything you want to say about both of them. Von Ivan's trained so hard for this tournament, he's done so well. But he's up against, you know, the most fierce tournament coming here as player of all time, and it's one of those things. And now we see him in his final Super Saiyan, you know, form, kind of like Sephiroth, with the music playing and the one-winged angel and kind of Genova limbs coming out of his back, etc. If you're a Final Fantasy VII fan, you know what I'm on about. It's pretty scary, but it's one of those replays that if you want to know how to play this game, pretty much the top level it can be played, you want to watch the replay or rewatch the cast that'll be uploaded to YouTube later on today. But the bigger thing is now, Dan, it looks likely we've got our very first finalist.
Oh gosh, it's any second now as it's 1VP on the ticker. It's gonna be DevM as the first one. What a series. That was just a series in every sense of the word. I mean, like, there was drama, there was good play, there was like the throws, we had the epic wins. That was such a good series. But it is going to be DevM as the victor. We'll update the scores on that.
What a crazy series. Absolutely crazy. Hats off to both players. Von Ivan played like a hero to get back into it. DevM won the series once, bug splattered, played it again, and he wasn't messing around the second time. Jesus Christ, it was pretty scary, to be honest.
No.
But Von Ivan had a hell of a tournament, and he's such a great guy. Anything that GCS can do to get him, if the plane tickets, we can find them cheap, or anything we can do to get him to Leicester, we'll try and get him there. But not promising anything. We'll try. Obviously, he's not one of the finalists, so the finalists are cared for first, of course. But the semi-finalists, we will try and get them into Leicester so you can meet them and